Hey guys, Jonathan from Jonathan Chapman Cook Piano Studio here. Today I want to give you 10 quick tips on how to prepare for your next recital. Now these tips apply for beginners if you're just starting out, it applies for young children, they apply to adult students, and they apply to very advanced students as well, and even professionals. These are universally useful tips. Tip number 1 is finish learning your piece early. If you're going to give a performance, you want to be really comfortable with the piece well in advance. I recommend my piano students to finish learning all the notes and be comfortable with the piece anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks before the actual recital date. If you're going to be performing from memory, you should have your piece memorized at least 2 weeks ahead of time, if not 4 or even more. This way you're not cramming notes leading up to the recital, and it gives you a lot of space to work on other aspects of your playing, such as artistry, relaxation while you play, stage presence, and so much more. Tip number 2 is to get consistent with your practice. If you don't normally practice consistently, now is the time to start, at least several weeks before the recital. I highly recommend writing down an intention for how much you play each day. Establishing a routine time when you practice every day is going to guarantee that you're making that consistent progress towards your goal of a good performance. Tip number 3 is to start in odd places and focus on trouble spots. So if you find that you sit down and play your piece from beginning to end every time, that might work for you when you've just finished learning the piece. But if you keep only doing that and only practicing that way over several weeks, the piece is going to get really stale. You've got to keep it fresh. So start in odd places. That's going to feel really uncomfortable at first, but if you pick strange places to start and then practice getting used to starting in those odd places, especially if you're playing from memory, that's going to help out a lot come performance time. Sometimes funny trouble spots are going to pop up where they were not trouble spots yesterday. You've got to address those issues. Don't just say, it's a fluke, it'll go away tomorrow. It's probably a sign that something in your muscle memory is shifting, and you've got to go to that spot. Do slow practice. Practice starting in a slightly different place. Work it out. Tip number 4 is to visualize the performance. So, how you do this is close your eyes, imagine yourself on stage, imagine yourself in the venue. If you know what it looks like, that really helps. Imagine the size of the audience, how many people are there, what you're going to be feeling like when you walk on stage. Go through the whole performance in your mind and play through your piece with all those butterflies going. So if you can get yourself a little bit nervous in your practice time, that's going to help prepare you for how to handle those nerves when you get on stage. Tips 5 through 8 are all healthy lifestyle habits. Number 5, get plenty of sleep. This applies generally. There are so many benefits of sleep, and I suggest that you watch some videos on it or do some reading about it so that you know, and so that you can treat yourself to a good night of sleep every night, because it's really not worth not getting enough sleep. If you aren't consistent with your sleep or you don't normally get enough sleep, the most important nights to get plenty of sleep are the 2 nights before your recital. Number 6 is to eat well. Eat a healthy, balanced diet with lots of fruits, veggies, whole grains. I really recommend whole foods. It's amazing how much what you put in your body affects your memory, your muscle memory, how you feel, and how well you can perform. Number 7, exercise routinely. For kids, this goes without saying. Kids tend to be very active naturally. But for some of us older pianists, we sometimes fall out of healthy exercise routines. So I highly recommend getting into a consistent exercise routine. Working up your blood rate on a regular basis really helps you when it comes to dealing with stage fright, nerves, high intensity performances. Number 8 is make sure you're socializing. Playing piano tends to be a very isolated activity. We tend to be introverts. I myself am very much an introvert, but get together with friends that make you laugh and make you feel good. There are more and more studies that having a healthy immune system and a healthy attitude about life has a lot to do with your social life. So surround yourself with people who make you feel good, you enjoy time with, and you'll probably take everything in life a little bit lighter, and that's good for your performances too. Number 9 is do not over practice leading up to the recital. Get into that consistent routine leading up to it and stick with that. If you're cramming right before a recital, you're not doing yourself a favor for your performance. If you overwork yourself, you're just going to be exhausted when you perform. Tip number 10 is when you're performing, have fun and don't take yourself too seriously. Now I know that's easier said than done, but let me give you a practical tip towards that. When you are practicing and you're imagining your performance, using tip number 4, visualizing your performance, if you make a mistake, keep moving forward, and then you'll probably notice a thought pattern in your mind saying, oh shoot, I messed up. Darn. You might be tempted to be hard on yourself over that. We all are. That's normal. Notice that thought. That thought's okay, but then choose an alternate route going forward. Instead of continuing to beat yourself up for the thing that went wrong, look ahead to the next thing that you can enjoy doing. So look ahead to the next thing that's going to be really fun to play. And if you make another mistake then throw it away and look ahead to the next thing that you can have fun doing. People love watching this kind of performance, even if you have some wrong notes, even if there's some sloppy passages, because sometimes it's more impressive to see somebody who can just keep going and keep delivering after they've made some kind of mistake than it is to see somebody who just plays perfectly the whole time. So I hope these 10 tips have been helpful for you. If you've enjoyed this video and you're interested in more piano lessons content, please click the subscribe button below, hit the bell for notifications, and I'll see you in the next video.